You may be wondering which Simply Wall Street plan is right for you. So in this quick video, we're going to go over all three plans and we're going to cover the pros and cons of each of them. And then hopefully at the end of each, you'll know which plan is right for you. So let's dive straight in. For starters, we have the free plan. Now this plan here is a great taste test to the entire Simply Wall Street platform. For starters, one of the first pros is that you get global market access, and that means you can view any market and industry in the world, and that you can see here on the markets page. So if you're in the US, you can scan the entire market there and dive down into different industries, or if you want to expand into international markets, you can go elsewhere and see even more specific examples of markets and industries that you may not have invested in previously. Secondly, another benefit is that you'll be able to add up to 50 stocks to your watch list, and this is the watch list that allows you to set your estimate of the fair value, and it also allows you to stay up to date on the different developments of these stocks that you're interested in. The next benefit is that you can create unlimited watch lists and holdings in the portfolio section. Now these watch lists and holdings are where you basically just add the stocks in and you don't add holding or transactional details. So it might just be like the number of shares in the holdings, and for the watch list there's no transactional details. This is an example where you don't put in things like the buy and sell price, and you don't put in like the purchase date. You can create a portfolio in this particular portfolio section, and this is the type of portfolio that includes transaction details and analysis, and it'll do calculations on your capital gains, but one of the limitations here on the free plan is that it only analyzes 5 companies. This analysis is things like capital gains, which companies have contributed the most to your overall returns, your diversification, the future growth prospects of your portfolio, and similar analysis to what you'll see on the company report but applied to your portfolio. So another benefit of the free plan is that you'll still receive regular updates on your dashboard, which is basically like the landing page for your investments that you check regularly, like once a week, and that's just to see what the latest updates are for the stocks that are on your radar, either those ones that are on your watch list or those that are actually in your portfolio. So one of the last benefits is that you can actually view pre-made discovery section here in the Discover area, and you can see a list of investing themes or ideas, and you can browse through these to see if there's any investment opportunities in particular that take your fancy and might provide you an opportunity to see what else is out there. Now, here's the cons for the free plan. So obviously it's a free plan, so there's going to be some limitations. So in terms of viewing company analysis, and that's like the company reports we saw before, that's limited to only 5 company reports per month and 5 stocks analyzed in your portfolio. So basically what that means is that if you have a portfolio of 7 holdings, only 5 of them are going to be analyzed in terms of like calculating the capital gains or calculating the diversification and the returns and other analysis like that. So another limitation of the free plan is that you don't actually get access to the screener, which is a very customizable way to find stocks that meet your desired criteria. Now, for some investors that might be fine, but this tool is very useful for those investors who know what they're looking for in terms of filtering stocks by particular metrics, like a particular rate of earnings growth or dividend yields or particular rates of return on equity and those kind of metrics. So with all that in mind, who is this free plan actually for? Well, it's for those investors who are very passive and they barely check their investment portfolio, right? Like maybe once a month. It's also for those kind of investors who have a very small portfolio, like basically less than 5 holdings, right? If you only have 4 stocks, this could be pretty suitable to you. Also, it's suitable to those investors who are not actively looking for any more investment ideas. That's what I mean about like passive. Like you may have 4 or 5 stocks in your portfolio and you're pretty happy with that and you just want to sit back and not do anything with them. You don't want to look for any more investing ideas. Also, this plan is suitable for those who want to get a taste test of the Simply Wall Street platform before jumping into a full paid plan like the premium plan or the unlimited plan, which we'll get into in just a second. And last thing to note is that this free plan is free and it always will be. So if you decide to change back to a smaller plan, like say your investing needs change, where you're no longer as active in your investments, you can totally downgrade from the premium plan or the unlimited plan to a free plan if you so wish. So that leads us on to our premium plan. It's a happy medium between getting the most out of the actual Simply Wall Street platform and allows you to stay on top of your investments. So like it says here, the pros are the same as the free plan. You get global market access and you can view any market or industry in the world, and that's either just to review and see how these industries are performing or to look for new opportunities. You still get to create unlimited watch lists and holdings within the portfolio section. Like we said before, these are the ones that don't have transaction details. You still get the ability to add add up to 50 stocks in the main watch list section, which is the one where you set the estimate of fair value and you receive the updates. Now here is where the plan gets different. It allows you to view 30 company reports per month, which is great if you're the kind of investor who wants to deep dive into more stocks than just 5 companies per month. Also with this plan, you get up to 30 stocks analyzed per portfolio. So this is the one where you have the transaction details, where you enter the buy and sell prices and the dates, and it basically calculates the capital gains and losses for you, the diversification, which ones contribute to returns, and other sort of analysis like that. That's up to 30 stocks per portfolio. And on top of that, you also get to create unlimited portfolios. So this is the one with the transaction details. So this is for people like, say you have a personal investing account and like a retirement investing account, or you also invest via an entity like a company or trust, or maybe you simply just have multiple portfolios with different investing strategies that you want to track differently. This account allows you to do that, and if there's up to 30 holdings in each portfolio. So the final benefit of the plan is that you actually get access to the stock screener. So this is a tool that most investors use to filter to get for their next investment idea. Now this is what I mentioned before, where you have really specific criteria of what you're looking for. So here you can filter down to the nitty gritty. Since Simply Wall Street has global market access, you can filter down to really specific details to like find those stocks that otherwise may have remained hidden. So you can start first of all with what market you want to invest in, and then what industry in that market you want to invest in. Or if you wanted to exclude even the market altogether, you could just search for an entire industry and get the global responses. Then you go to the advanced filters and you can choose the metrics you care about, and these are based off some of the metrics from the platform. So that means you can filter for things like certain PE ratios or certain discounts to our estimate of fair value from the valuation section, or you can filter for things like earnings growth expectations under the future growth section, all the way down to past performance, where you can filter for those companies that are like proven businesses and that show that they can allocate money really well by filtering for certain return on equity metrics or return on asset metrics. And then if you go further down, you could even filter for certain financial health metrics, like the companies that you want to look into. Like if you want to specifically find stuff that isn't too leveraged with debt, you can filter via debt to equity ratio. On top of that, you can also even filter for companies that have certain dividend yields or even upcoming dividend payments if you're really keen to buy a stock that's due to pay a dividend in the next month or so. And lastly, you can even filter for insider buying and selling ratios to see if management has actively been increasing or decreasing their ownership in the company, which can sometimes give you a really interesting clues about management's sentiment around the company, since they're really intimate with the stock. Now, the last few filters here you can see are just to avoid edge cases or special situations. Now that's all the pros of the plan, and that's why it makes it one of our most popular plans that investors choose to subscribe to. Now let's go to the cons. So while it may be considered a con to some, it's not considered a con to others, and that is the fact that you are limited to only being able to view 30 company reports per month. Now for most investors, that's actually plenty, right? Like some investors who are moderately active, 30 company reports per month is actually fine, and it's more than they need. Another con is that this investor plan doesn't have the ability to export these company reports to Excel or PDF. Now, that is what is available on the unlimited plan, and we'll talk about that feature in just a second. And that's for those investors who are really keen to get like hands-on and actually play around with the data or save certain company reports at a particular time. So who is the plan for? Well, it's basically for those investors who want to stay on top of their investments, right? Like 30 is a pretty good range for like a certain amount of company reviews per month, and also 30 companies per portfolio is a pretty large amount of holdings and can be enough for plenty of investors out there. So let's just say you've got more than 5 holdings but less than 30 holdings in your portfolio. The plan would probably be suitable for you, because that allows you to do the full analysis in the portfolio, where you get to see the returns calculations, the future growth prospects of all 30 companies in your portfolio, and that allows you to basically not miss out on any analysis of the stocks that you own. If you've got more than 30 stocks to be analyzed, maybe the unlimited plan will be better for you, and we'll get into that in just a second. Also, this plan would be great for those who want a stock screener. So if you have like a particular metric in mind, or you have particular stocks that you like for example, those that have a return on equity of over 30%, you don't really care what industry, that would be like really important, because the stock screener is available in this investor plan, and that can allow you to filter for new ideas that you have, whether it be like low leverage companies or companies that really allocate shareholders' equity really well, or those companies that have high earnings growth forecasts, those kind of things. You can play around with the stock screener and you can get the metrics that you want, and then be shown the stocks that meet those criteria. Now, the next plan we have is the top tier plan in our range, and that is called the unlimited plan. Now, this plan includes everything from the premium plan, but it basically takes it up a notch, and a lot of it is implied from the name already. So, as you would expect, there's everything from the premium plan included, and that means the screener, but even better is that you have unlimited company report views per month. So you could view 100, 200, 300 reports per month, doesn't matter. You can search company reports till your heart's content. Another thing is that you have unlimited stocks analyzed in your portfolio. So you have a portfolio of 50 stocks, they're all going to get analyzed. A portfolio of 100 stocks, they're all going to get analyzed. The next benefit of the unlimited plan is that you can actually export company reports from Simply Wall Street to either a PDF or Excel. Now, you may be wondering, why would you want to do that? Well, it's for those kind of investors who want to go deeper into the analysis. So you might want to export a report to Excel to play around with the data in your own models if you already have your own model built. Or you might want to export the report as a PDF in order to save what the company looked like at a particular time, or to show to like a colleague or friend. So some users save these PDFs regularly, and so what they do is they have a tally of how the company report changes over time as the underlying business and stock changes. So they might save it 1 month, and then the next month they'll review this report as it stands at that day, and they'll view the valuation section and future growth section. And if the analysts have released new updates or forecasts for the stock, they'll review how this has changed the company's future prospects and also the valuation in the company report today, and they'll see how it looked a month ago. So that's why the unlimited plan is so popular for more hands-on investors, those who really want to get into the data, export everything from the company report to Excel, and also have the ability to save PDFs, and also just those who are very, very active in searching for new opportunities, where they want to view more than 30 company reports per month, and they have portfolios that have more than 30 holdings. So the cons are, well, there aren't really any cons, right? Because this basically allows complete and full access to the platform, as well as the ability to export, which are the investors that are very hands-on find very useful. Other than that, the fact that it might be our most expensive plan might be one of the cons, but when you consider the value that it actually provides, it's definitely a small price to pay for that kind of access to such a large amount of analysis. Sometimes users who use this account are more like financial advisors who actually have multiple clients' portfolios that they want to put into the platform, and they want to monitor and track the returns, and they can provide this kind of analysis to their clients. They also find it useful to print out or save the PDF of the company report and then pass it on to a client and show them, hey, this is actually why, or this is part of the reason why we're buying a particular stock or why we sold a stock. It doesn't meet these particular metrics, and that's why I've decided to make this decision. It can help to show their clients, basically justify their analysis. Some final things to note is that on the Simply Wall Street plans, there is the ability to be charged monthly or annually. And now obviously monthly is there to offer the flexibility for those users who want to go on a month-by-month basis. But then there's the option for an annual plan. And for those who are happy with the annual plan, they'll get the option to, or they are provided the opportunity to save 33% on the usual monthly prices. Another thing to note is that the expense for a plan is potentially tax deductible, so it's definitely worth speaking to your accountant if you can take advantage of that. There's also a 14-day money-back guarantee, so if you're not happy, we'll happily refund your purchase. And lastly, you can cancel at any time. So I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll help you out wherever we can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.